Welcome to the last day of the month. Oh my gosh. Today's 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10, is going to be talking all about the scariest day of the month, the last one. It's self inflicted. Most times we take ourselves in a very 30-day cycle manner. I think it's always been an issue for especially people starting out, to give them this concept that like whatever doesn't happen by midnight tonight or 10 o'clock or whatever is just it's just not valuable. And so we all have deadlines, we all have numbers we need to hit. Totally get it. But something that I said a lot that I know a lot of people above me never liked, was that we'll be here next month. And so this isn't an indication of sandbag. That's not what I'm talking about, right? I'm not talking about hiding deals. But what I am saying is to maybe not take the high anxiety of not hitting a number or not getting the trunk money, or whatever motivates you in a 30-day given. And again, we all get typically paid in those cycles. So there's all kind of it's all cyclical in that way. And again, I understand. I lived it for a decade and a half. Like I get it. I'm hip to it. It's just for me, it's something that I, I don't. I only think about the end of the month because I have to start working again on the first of the month. And so my life couldn't be any more different. I don't have end of the month stress for any sales numbers because I don't look at my organization's success like that. And again, I don't answer to manufacturers. I don't answer to owners. I am the owner. Like there's a whole thing. And again, it's not lost on me. What I'm trying to say though is that at the end of the day, even if it's the end of the month, if the stress starts up here, and I'm not trying to go all mental health Monday on you all, but we should. If the stress starts up here, the only place it goes is downhill. So as soon as the GM is stressed about hitting a number or the end of the month or the last day of the month or whatever, then it's the sales manager. Sales manager then pushes that to the salesperson, maybe goes a little bit to the left, pushes it to the BDC, and it becomes this sort of, oh my gosh moment where, first of all, we all knew when the end of the month was, right? So that's not what caught us by surprise. It has to do with being somewhere within a number. And even if you're above the number, hey, get all that we can, etc. Again, I think that the end of the month is important to have urgency, but I think the same urgency should exist on the first as it does on the 31st. And I think that's where my fundamental kind of thing comes into people is, yeah, look, I look at data month over month as well, but it doesn't just end there. You could look at it over 60 days. You could look at it over a quarter basis, 6 months. I mean, it's something to me that I always say 1 month doesn't make a year. And I mean that in the sincerest way possible, because we just take ourselves back zero to hero. It's something we say cliche, it's a joke, but it's not in sales. It's not because especially in the car business, whatever units were sold in, here in March, those units will not be sold again in April. I mean, unless shit gets weird, right? But so you have to then reinvent the wheel again, find yourself 20 more customers. But this is where the flaw to me is really the greatest. If you're cultivating business, which retail, business to business, business to consumer, there's a lag in most cases. Like, yeah, you get someone at a show or you meet someone that's a referral. Like, I get all that. But building a funnel in sales takes time, takes energy to build that funnel. So to assume that everything in the funnel will then just come out on the 30-day cycle is sort of naive as far as sales is concerned. So let's take it back here and let's say to ourselves, well, we cultivated all this business. And now over the next 6 months, we need it to trickle out of this funnel into our business, because there's no guarantee that everything in this pool is going to fall to you. But if you stress it to fall to you, like calling a customer on the last day of the month and making it sound like whatever deal is available today won't be available tomorrow. Yeah, incentives, rebates, but that's not typically how it works anymore. So I'm trying to add a level of transparency to the urgency, because the urgency is not lost on any of us. We get it. We do. My urgency just happens to be at the beginning of a month because of the way things in my life are cycled. So I understand it. I just am trying to I'm trying to do a better job of taking it and being a little bit more realistic about what it means to be the last day of the month. Because it's the last day of the month. Tomorrow is the first day of the month. So now you got to restart everything. And hopefully you didn't push too hard and get those deals that didn't fall out of the funnel. And now you can go back and you can still have those deals as a part of your funnel. Because the stress I talked about falling all the way down the hill, once it gets to the salesperson, who's left? But that salesperson's spouse. But other than that, the customers. Customers feel that stress. They understand that stress. And sometimes, they can be persuaded. They can be doing it themselves. I'm not absolving the customer from playing the end of the month game. Why would I? I don't absolve salespeople of playing the end of month game that they play with their paychecks or anyone else who games the system. That's not what I'm saying. But who created the system to be gamed? Thus, when people do it, why are we surprised? So then why don't we just take an approach of, we're going to get everything we can absolutely get. We need 8 cars to get to our number. How many appointments? Yes, all of this is completely relevant, completely a push point. I buy it. I love it. I'm here for it. I really am. We'll get into this on future shows, probably next week. I'm all about competition. Okay? I'm all about it. I'm crazy about it. I crave it. I look for it everywhere. Okay? But end of the month stress is rarely about competition. It's usually self-serving. It's usually about a stress of a number that if we don't hit it this month, next month, let's just say we couldn't make up a number and sell more than that number's goal. I just want people to be a little bit more realistic with the end of the month. That's really all I'm trying to get across here. So that's it for me on end of the month. I hope that everyone has a wonderful end of the month, no matter how that finds you. Enjoy it. And remember, most cases, you will be here next month. So build your funnel, trickle it out, get it when you can. Have yourselves a great week. We'll see you again next week.